Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with a new Mugen tutorial. I know it's been a while since I posted one, but for the past couple days, you guys had noticed that I've been uploading some new Mugen 1.1 gameplay footage utilizing the Warzone Legacy ScreenPack created by Nas and his team. So today, I'm going to show you guys how to create portraits for the Legacy Warzone ScreenPack. So let us begin. For starters, I posted the link to the Mugen Fighters Guild Mugen forum, so you guys can download the ScreenPack for yourself. So when you go to the website, make sure you guys download the templates for the ScreenPacks, because you need this template in order for you to be able to organize and line up the portraits correctly for the ScreenPack. So let us begin. First, you're going to need a paint program. I'm using Photoshop CX6. That's what I use. Now, I don't know what other Photoshop programs that you guys use, but this is the one I use. So if you guys don't have Photoshop, then try your best to try to follow along, because most photo programs have some similar tools. And also, I just want you guys to know this is not a Photoshop tutorial. So if you don't know anything that I'm doing or have any idea, then I advise you to look up how to use Photoshop. So let's begin. First, you're going to have to open up in Photoshop the templates. You're going to need the versus win template. You're going to need the teams template. You're going to need the small template, the life bar template, and you're going to need the big template. All right. So for starters, we're going to start at the win template to give you an idea what we're going to do here. So we're going to first go to File, and we're going to go grab our image, whatever image that you guys have downloaded. It doesn't matter. Find the image that you're using. So in this case, in this tutorial, I'm going to use Double Gen in this folder right here, video games, and I organize all my work so I know where everything is at. All right, we're going to go to Namco, and we're going to go to we're going to pick a win image. Okay, so we're going to go with Double Gen. All right, so this is what you need to do. You want the proportion out the image so you can be able to fit this on this template here. So what you want to do is use the crop tool. Excuse me. All right, take the crop tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much cut out a certain portion here. We'll stop it here, and bam, cut. So what we have to do is you take the move tool right here, and we're going to carry over and drag it to the wind template. So you notice that the picture is too big, but for starters, we want to go here to layers. Then the layers, the pictures are layered as far as priority. So whatever layer is on top of a layer, that's a layer that has the highest priority. So we already have this side right here is player 1. We want to move Gen, which is layer 1, on top of the player the P1 art. Okay, so what we want to do is, you notice Gen is a little bit too big, so what we want to do is we want to fit him in this box. And what I like about this template is it's real simple. It's not hard at all. You just follow the guidelines. Everything is set up for you. We set them up, and we're gonna fit Double Gen over here. And you don't want his body to go stretch over to the green side, because that's where you'll see the overlap. You don't want that. So now you clear this, and you hit OK. Now you notice that Kazuya is sitting in back of Double Gen. We don't want that. So what you do is you keep don't delete Kazuya. All you have to do is just hit this eyeball where it says P1 art. Just hit the eyeball, and it turns it off. So Kazuya is no longer in back of Double Gen. Now, but if you notice how that these pictures have special like gradient palettes on the character for that shine or glare effect. So what you have to do is, since this is player 1 side, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the layer effect from P1 art, which you right click and you hit copy layer style, and you paste it on Double Gen, which is layer 1, and you notice when you hit paste, bam, there you go. He has that red glow gradient overlay over top of him. So now we repeat the same process. So you can copy this and duplicate Double Gen layer, and we can call it Double Gen so you won't get confused. Double Gen, and hit OK. And what we're going to do is we're going to take Double Gen and we're going to slide them over here. Now, the gradient overlay for this one for player 2 side, which we're going to drag down to player 2, so we organize all our work so we won't get confused. So we take this, put them over on top of player 2, and what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of, he still has the player 1 overlay effect on him, so we're going to hit this and take this off. So we're going to take Kazuya that's on P2 art, click the eyeball so you can't see it, so he's no longer in back of this double gen. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy P2 art layers. So what you do is you hit copy layer style and you paste it on double gen, and now you have player 2 color right here. Alright, now the next step, which is not hard, what we're going to do is we're going to take this again and we're going to drag it and we're going to put it down here this time. Now the thing is, you don't want it to overlap over top of the green and red pictures, because you will see the overlap and it's going to look sloppy and unprofessional or whatever. So you got to drag this double gen layer and put it over top of the wind art layer right here, and we hit the eyeball to get rid of Kazuya so you can't see him. Alright, then what we do is we can go to edit, hit this right here, oops, wrong button, click on the double gen and we're going to hit edit, go to transform, we're going to scale it down, and we can, you know, hold the shift key while you're doing this, while you're dragging it, and there you go. Alright, now you have him behind the text box and you have him above the wind art. Then what we're going to do is, this is a process, people. I know it's going to be a while. So what you do is you want to click the tool, the T, click the text, and you click on the Kazuya text right here, and you say, and you name it double gen. Double gen. Oops, I said John. That's his mom. And then we do the same process again for player 2 side. Click it, erase it, and you have double gen. All right. Now, what we have to do here now is we have to save it as a PNG. But before we save it as a PNG, we have to get rid of the red, the green, and the pink background, because it won't work. It won't convert right in Fighter Factory if we don't get rid of this. So you go down to where the colors at on your layers, your layer tabs right here, and you click the eyeball so you can't see them. And then what you do is you hit File, you hit Save As, and you save it somewhere. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it in my Legacy Portraits, and it's a Win. This is the Win template right here. This is the Win template. So you put it in the Win folder so you have everything organized, and then you hit this, the format, and you save it as a PNG. You save it and you name it double gen, so you know where to look for them. Save. Now we're done with this. Alright, the next step is we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to no, we don't get rid of it. We're going to still utilize this. We're going to move on to the teams tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a part of double gen face. I'm going to crop it. This takes a lot of patience. Now imagine you have a bunch of characters that you want to do. This takes some time. Alright, so we're going to crop it to this, and we're going to take it, drag it over to the teams tab. We're going to drop it here, and you notice the picture is too big, so we're going to do some work here. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this layer right here where it says layer 2 with double gen. We're going to put it above Akuma, which is art, which is called the art layer. And what we're going to do is we want to make him small, so you have to go to edit again. We're going to go to transform, we're going to go to scale, and we're going to go bring it down to an appropriate size. Alright, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it like this. Alright, now don't panic when you see his flesh and everything sitting outside the box. So this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to hit the eyeball on the Kuma so you can't see him in the background. That's what we're going to do first of all. Second, what we want to do is we're going to do some erasing work here, which is a pain. Hit the eraser brush, make this smaller here. Make this smaller. There we go. Change the opacity to 100, and we're going to erase this. Erase this. Get all the access stuff. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Keep going. Keep going. You don't want no edges or trimmings. You don't want anything left over. So now, see? Now you got double gen inside of the win. No, the teams, which the team tab here. So now what we do is we're going to copy the special effect that the Akuma art has. We're going to copy that layer and we're going to paste it on double gen. So you see the purple glow now? Alright, so we're done the team tab. So what you get to do is you want to save it as, and you find your portraits, whatever folders you have for portraits that you put all your portraits at, and you put it inside the team, and you change the format to PNG, and we want to call it double gen. Yes. Okay. And hopefully my brother's phone doesn't show up in this tutorial. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the small tab now. Now for the small tab, we can still use this picture. Yeah, we'll continue with this picture. Alright, so we take this picture and we're going to drag it over to the small tab. And you notice the same process again. It's a little too big, so what we got to do is we're going to hit transform. We're going to scale again and hold the shift key while you do it so you can still have its proportionate size. And there we go. So don't panic because it's sitting outside the box. We got to do the same thing. We got to do some more erasing again. This is some work. First, put the take the eyeball out on the Akuma layer so you won't be in the background. Go to the eraser tool once again. Get some work done, and we gotta erase all this here. Erase, 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 and erase. This one is a lot more work than the original Warzone ScreenPack, for the simple fact is you have so many other tabs you have to do with the versus, you know, the big, the win, teams, and the small tabs and stuff like that, and the life bar tabs. Alright, so you gotta keep getting rid of all this. There we go. Is it me, or does Jim remind you of Sasuke for some reason? Or I guess double gen? I don't know, you remind me like the curse seal Sasuke. Alright, make sure everything is erased. Alright, then we do the same process again. We're gonna go to layer 3, which is the Akuma. We copy his layer style, and we're gonna paste it on double gen, which is layer 4. And you get the purple effect, and we zoom it out so you can see it from a distance. See how it's coming out? Then we're going to do is with the hit file, and we're going to hit save as, and we're going to go to this folder right here, and we're going to go to legacy portraits, and go to the small folder because that's what we're working on, and we're going to go to PNG, which is the format, and we're going to call it double gen. Alright, hit OK. And then we're going to move on to the next tab, the life bar. Now, what I like about the life bar tab is it has this red background that lets you know where to place the head at. So it can be lined up with the life bar and it doesn't collide on top of the character's name. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to double gen once again, and we're going to drag them over to the life bar. Alright, we're going to go to transform, edit, transform, then we go to scale, and we're going to scale it down. There we go. And you have to work with this until you get it the right proportion or whatever you're trying to go for here. And you don't want it to overlap on the bar. So you put this, I'll put this right here. And then what you do is you see Ryu, you hit the eyeball, which is layer 1, and Ryu will disappear. And also what you need to do is to do the fade, because you don't want these blocky lines on the side because it looks kind of tacky. So what I normally do is I increase the size of the eraser, and then what I do is I change the opacity of the eraser, because you don't want it to be too hard to where it erase the whole image. You want it to have that fog effect to it. So I take it down to 28. We're going to zoom in so you can see some more, and this is what we're going to do. make that little fade effect a little bit, because you want to get rid of the lines. You don't want to see the blocky lines on the side or whatever like that, and at the bottom. So you want to give this little fade effect to it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You gotta keep going until this thing fades in a way. See? You see how it came out? There we go. Then next, what you do is you hit the layer 0, click that off, and there you go. So you have to, because remember, these backgrounds have to be gone. They have to have transparent backgrounds in order for this stuff to convert over and work. So we hit save as, and we hit Mugen EX Fighters Burst Edition, which I call it my roster. And we're gonna go to life bar. We're gonna save it there, and remember, change the format. I'm gonna repeat myself. Change the format to PNG, because I caught myself a few times moving so fast and realized that I didn't save as a PNG. I saved it as a PSD, which is a Photoshop document or a file or whatever. And we're gonna call this double gen. Okay, we hit save. Hit OK. All right. So the next step is we're going to go to the last part before we go to Fighter Factory. Alright, this tab right here is the big tab. Now, the red side represents player 1 and the blue side represents player 2. Now you notice that both sides have 2 different portraits. You don't have to follow this format, but it'd be cool if you do, because it looks nice, because player 1 has this portrait, but the player 2 side has a different portrait of the same character. But if you can't happen to find an appropriate portrait or whatever, then just use the same portrait. But in this case, we're gonna work on player 1 side first. So we're gonna get rid of this and get another picture of double gen, and go back to my libraries, go to pictures, and we're gonna go to video game characters, and we're gonna go to Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab double gen 3 here. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to take some work here. Alright, because we want this to fit right. What I'll do is I'll just take half. I'm going to take half of double gen's body here. And take this, erase. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this, I'm going to take it over to the big side. Bring it over. So we're gonna need more arm. So I'm gonna delete this, come back over, undo, and we're gonna see. I'm glad that you can see some of my arrows here, so you know how to fix things around here. Yeah. So we're gonna take this. Oh no, that's fine. And this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and you have to line it up properly. Now take double gen layer 2 and find player 1. Here we go. Here's Art P1. Put that above Akuma, and what we're going to do is we're going to take edit, and we're going to scale him over some like this, and scale him down like that. Hold the shift key, and there we go. So the next step is what we're going to do is we're going to erase once again. Get to the eraser tool, change the opacity back to 100% because we're not doing life bar no more. Remember that. And we're going to erase a good portion of his body right here. We don't need none of this because we want him to fit inside the box itself. Now this takes a little bit of tweaking, because what happened is when you put the red effect on this picture of Jen, you don't want it to overlap the blue side, because when you go on to the character select screen, you can see some of the color overlap on the other player's side. You can see that opposite color. So you have to really tweak, and in this tutorial I'm not trying to be perfect, because it'll take way too long trying to be perfect. This is just an idea of what you need to do. Okay, so we're gonna keep erasing here. I'm regretting the rendering. I'm gonna have to render this video. This video is gonna take like an hour or two, because this thing is kind of long here. Alright, so what we're going to do is you take Art P1 layer, and we're going to copy its layer style once again, and we're going to put it on layer 2, which is the double gen that we have here, and we paste it. See, now you got the red effect. And what we need to do here is click on the eyeball to get rid of Akuma in the back, and we go to the T, which is the text, and we click on Akuma's name, and then we put double gen's name instead. Double gen. Double gen. Double gen. There we go. Alright, so next what we have to do is we're gonna get a new portrait for the player 2 side, and go to file, and we're going to open, and what we're going to do is we're going to go pick this one, and what we're going to do here, we're going to take this, and we don't want too much of the wing cutting off or cutting in, and we want to take a certain portion of his body because we don't want it to triple over. Let's see how this looks. Alright, so pretty much get the transform it, scale it over. Or, you know what? This is what we're going to do. The image. We want to scale this a bit. Yeah, because it's kind of small. We're going to go 460 on this one. There we go. Perfect. And we're going to bring it over. And we go to the eraser tool. And we'll erase all this crap. Erase, 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 erase. Alright, keep erasing. Keep erasing. Keep going. Alright. And you want to make sure you get all of this. You want to get all this out of here. Because you don't want no overlapping, or this thing would look so sloppy and embarrassing at the same time. Alright, I'm not trying to get this perfect, I just want to get enough of it. Keep erasing. Keep erasing, keep erasing, keep erasing. There we go. It to where the rings are portioned here. Alright, and we're gonna get rid of this. We'll bring layer 3, we're gonna put it over top of P Art 2 or Art P2. Get rid of the Akuma in the back, and we're going to copy this layer from Akuma and paste it on double gen. Alright, we gotta erase some more of this because his head's still sticking out. There we go. Alright, then we want to change his name to double gen. Alright, double gen. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to get rid of this black background here. And how you do that is you go to where it says cut P1, you go to cut P1 and cut P2, and then what you do is we hit file and we save it as a PNG. Remember, you got to save this as a PNG. I'm gonna repeat this again. Save as a PNG. Alright, go to big, change it, PNG, double gen, hit save, hit OK, and then we move on to the next part, which is Fighter Factory. Alright, so we click on Fighter Factory or whatever, and we hit project and we hit open, and we're gonna go look for double gen. Alright, and double gen is right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on double gen tag. Alright, so what you need to do is you have to go to sprites, because we're working with sprites. Now you notice on your right side you have the organizer tab. Here's the organizer tab. Now, before we even start with that, I wish I should have said at the beginning, which is okay anyway. Go to your data. No, not data, my fault. Go to the legacy portraits template folder, and hopefully I don't hear my brother in the background on this. And what we're going to do is you hit the readme file on the template folder. Now you notice in the readme it has these numbers here. These numbers are coordinates of the position of the sprites. Now if you notice that nearest where it says 9,000 and it has 0 equals small and so forth and so on, these are the coordinates where you have to put these portraits at. So 9,000 and 0 equals small, so then you have to put the small portrait here, then you have to put the big portrait in the next coordinate, so forth and so on. So what we have to do is, first I always hit auto on the organize tab, so it organizes everything for me. And you notice that we have 9,000 and 0, and we have 9,001 right here. Now we don't have 9,002 and then 9,003 and 9,004 because this sprites doesn't have it. So you want to add those sprites in there. So first of all, we're going to have to deal with this first. Before you even start, Mugen 1.1, when converting over the sprites, they use these sprites use PNG files this time around. So before you even start, you have to go to sprites. You have to save it as, and it asks you what format you want to save your sprites in. We will save it in Mugen 1.1. If you don't do that, you're going to have problems converting over these portraits. And then you save it. Then you're going to save it inside the SFF file over here, which is your sprite files. You overwrite it, yes. So what you need to remember is here, you have to pretty much overwrite these files. You have to convert these files over to Mugen 1.1 before you even consider bringing over these portraits. So next part is we have to replace these portraits. So we had 9,000 0. So 9,000 0 is your small portrait that we made. So you go to your portraits folder and we go to small and we're gonna look for double gen. So let's look for double gen. Alright, so we hit that, okay, crop no, and hit okay. And then what you do is you save the file, the SFF file, save the sprite, then we move it to 9001. Do the same thing. Remember, 9001 is the coordinates of, alright, of the big, alright, double gen. We're gonna hit okay, crop no, okay. Alright, and also the coordinates have to be 0 0 on the y-axis. The y-axis, we have to have it 0 0, because if it's not 0 0, like the image is going to pop up wrong on the ScreenPack. So if you ever see the numbers that's not in, if the x and y axes are not 0 0, change them to 0 0. Now, like I said before, we need 9,003 and we need 9,004. And like I said, 9,000 is the group, and the number after 9,000 is the index number. And these are the coordinates right here on Fighter Factor. So now we need 9,002. So what we have to do is, all we have is 9,000 and 9,001. Now we have to make a 9,002. We go to this tab right here, add one more sprite. So we add one more. So what we do is, the next one is the win tab. And we go to double gen right here. And we have to name it 9,000, the group number, and 2, and make sure the coordinates x and y is 0 0, and you hit OK, and there he is. He's right there. It's right here. So we hit save, And also remember, guys, to subscribe if you're interested in more tutorials. So next we hit add, and we're gonna go create 9003 this time. So the next one is the life bar, which is 9003. So I do it so much now I know what it is without looking at it, since I've been doing it for quite some time now. I had to do it for 20 portraits. 9003 in the coordinates X and Y 00. Hit OK, and go click on it, make sure everything is there, and we hit save. And then we got one more, 9004. All right, which is the team's double gen. Now you notice you see all the purple on the outside. That means I haven't fully erased all the purple out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Photoshop and make sure all the access stuff is gone, because we don't want none of that to affect your image at all when converting this stuff over. Alright, doesn't have to be perfect because it's just a tutorial. Save as, resave it again as a PNG, go back to legacy portraits and go back to teams, format PNG, and then double gen PNG. Hit yes, okay, and let's go back here. There we go. Yeah, it's going. And we can go to 9000. Four, I meant. Okay. Yes. Alright. So now the final part to make sure that double gen is in the ScreenPack itself. So let's go test it out. Alright guys, so we're here in Legacy Warzone ScreenPack, and we're going to test and see if double gen was properly input into the ScreenPack. So let's go to the character select screen here. We'll go to watch, hit single, yes, and we're going to scroll down to the Namco section here that I try to organize the best way I can. And there's double gen, and it looks like he was properly placed in the spot that he needed to be. So what we're going to do now, we're going to test out player 2 side. Hit OK, and scroll up to, yep, there's double gen right there. Before I close out, I also want to point out a few things here. We go to, where's Iceman? Alright, if you look at Iceman on the player 2 side, if you look behind him, you see the little red gradient that's sticking out. That's because there was overlapping issues where the person didn't properly portion the portrait correctly, and you can see the player 1 side seeping over to the player 2 side. So you have to really watch out for that when you creating these portraits. But like I said, this is a tutorial, so it's not perfect. Just wanted to give you guys a rough idea of how it's supposed to be. Well, this pretty much wraps up this tutorial here. I know it's a pretty long tutorial, and I'm going to regret rendering this, so I might not even post this up today. I'll probably post it up tomorrow, so I have this thing rendered while I'm asleep, because it's on my computer rendering these videos, especially the longer past 10 minutes, it takes hours. So yeah, if you guys are interested in more tutorials, Mugen content, gaming news, just feel free to subscribe and hit that like button and leave your comments in the section below. This is MugenLord, and you know what? Signing off.